Well, whether you're in the mood for walking in Memphis or rolling on the river, Blackbeat Tours is a summer must-see.
We've got to do this. In tonight's five-star story, Kim Clark takes you for a ride through all things Memphis music, history, and art.
All aboard the music bus, which you'll find most days in the heart of Memphis, at the corner of Beale Street and B.B. King near Alfred's. Blackbeat Tours has been sharing the story of Memphis to tourists and Memphians alike for 18 years.
From March 1st through November 30th, we are running 7 days a week, and we run 7 different tours every day.
Megan May is vice president of Blackbeat Tours and says, from music to street art, Blackbeat has it all.
We're really covering all of the great things in Memphis.
The oldest and most popular is the 90-minute Mojo Tour, Blackbeat's daily music history offering, led on this day by classically trained turned blues musician Davy Ray Bennett.
We start out talking about Beale Street and Boss Crump, and then we go on W.C. Handy here, and then we go on to Cotton Row, and we talk about WDIA. The big flood of 1927 that brought people to Memphis, made us the home of the blues.
Retired veteran Larry Baptist leads the Memphis Discovery Tour.
I like to have fun on my tour, so I come up with a lot of jokes and keep the people laughing, and that's what they like.
The Discovery Tour runs 2 to 6 hours.
It starts off here on Beale, and we go to the Civil Rights Museum, the I Am a Man Plaza, we go to Mud Island, and I take them to the riverboat for the riverboat cruise.
So it starts over here and works down this way.
The newest Blackbeat Tour just launched days ago and focuses on street art and murals around the city. Shannon Baker is lead tour guide for Blackbeat Tours.
It's also about experiencing corners of Memphis you would have not otherwise seen or heard about.
If you're a fan of true crime, Blackbeat shares some of Memphis' most scandalous and murderous stories from the past.
We do cover Georgia Tan, the notorious Georgia Tan, the baby thief, in the Tennessee Children's Home Society. But we also cover a couple of unsolved murders even. And then of course there's, the most recent crime that we cover happened in the summer of 1969. There was a serial killer roaming the streets of Memphis.
If you'd rather walk through Memphis, Blackbeat Tours has you covered there too, with ghosts and historic Memphis walking tours, as well as a stroll down one of the country's most iconic streets.
So learning the Beale Street history tour, being in the spaces that these stories took place in, why Beale Street is such a big deal. It's not just a party street. This street is incredibly historically significant.
We want them to have learned something. We want them to have a deeper appreciation for Memphis and for the history and the culture that it represents.
I think if you live in Memphis and you haven't taken this tour, you're doing yourself and your family a disservice. Because even though you've lived here all this time, there's so much you could learn about Memphis.
Just yesterday, I had a guy that got off the bus. He said, man, I've taken tours from all over the world, but I've never learned as much as I have from you.
Kim Clark, Action News 5.
Isn't that great? Blackbeat Tours was founded by the author and historian Bill Patton back in 2006. The touring company has been featured in magazines and newspapers around the country. To book a tour, click on the link with this story at actionnews5.com.